Okay, this is hopefully the last part of this writing language. I'm going to go through the first part of practice test 3 to kind of demonstrate some of these types of questions. And that's what I started going through in part 3. And I think I left off with talking about a rhetorical strategy organization question, a yes, yes, no, no question. Yes, yes, no, no. The question asks, should the writers with workers in office windows sleep an average of 46 minutes more per night than workers in offices without windows? Should the writer make this addition here? As they're talking about the body's circadian rhythms and biological clocks. No, because it interrupts the discussion of the circadian rhythms. So, which choice best supports this? And then we're looking at number 4. Excuse me. Let's move on to number 4. The body's biological clocks. This is clearly a punctuation type of question here. As you look at the different choices, well, controlled by the body, and it's referring to one body, one human body. So body's biological clocks, apostrophe S. C would be the correct answer. Number 5, again, like any other health problems, those ailments at the end. This is an example of reading the words around it. Like any other health problems, these ailments can increase employee absenteeism, which in turn is costly. So it's a subject-verb agreement. Ailments is the main subject. Ailments is the main subject. So you want to respond with is. Ailments, we're agreeing with, is costly for employers, which in turn is costly for taxpayers. Actually, absenteeism, would be the word it's agreeing with, not ailments. I apologize. Absenteeism actually is costly for employers. Absenteeism is costly for employers. Absenteeism is costly for employers. Now, let's take a look at numbers, and that's the subject verb agreement question. Which choice best supports the statement made in the previous sentence, talking about absenteeism being costly for employers, and then employees who feel less than 100% are sleep deprived are less prone to work at their maximum productivity. So one company in California gained a huge boost in its employee enrollment and moved from an artificially lit distribution facility to one with natural illumination. Which choice best supports the statement? So it's asking for a more specific idea, rhetorical connecting sentence and ideas. So they saw a 5% increase in productivity would be supporting the best statement in the previous sentence. It connects the idea that about the idea of maximum productivity, and then the idea that working in a building with natural light sees a 5% increase in productivity. It connects those two sentences and ideas. Number 7, artificial light sources. And again, I think I talked about this one in a previous video. Which choice best combines the underlying sentences and is making an integrated transition? So, we could also look at this as some conciseness as well, looking at some conciseness. So, aside from worker productivity, which it's talking about, artificial light sources are also costly. So this makes a transition talking about worker productivity in the previous sentence to this sentence. Aside from lowering worker productivity, artificial light sources are also costly, and typically costing anywhere from 25 to 50% of a building's energy use. This is the most concise and an example of an integrated transition. The rest of them don't connect the previous paragraph or are wordy. Number 8, again, each year was able to employ annual. Notice how it says annual here already. It's already talking about annual electricity cost reductions. So you don't need to have each year, and that's an example of redundancy. Number 9 is an example of transitional words connecting sentences. Which one does that best? Among the possibilities of reconfigure a building's lighting is the installation of full pane windows to allow the greatest degree of sunlight to reach office interiors. Alternatively, businesses can install light tubes. So this is talking about an alternative. So the best word here would be an alternatively. And then number 10 is talking about these are pipes placed in workplace roofs. This is which are, thus business can install light tubes which are pipes, and that's a sentence structure with modifiers. You don't need the comma there. And then another one, of, as a means of distributing natural light, not through distributing. And this would also be an example of a sentence structure modifier. So we've come to the end of this